Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Van Chicagoland Stories. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 478, season 20. Today's date is September 28th, 2025, and welcome to the show. It's been the last one I've done a podcast episode was a week ago. Yeah, I didn't do one yesterday. I was out having breakfast with my classmates from school. And Tuesday, I forgot. Oh, Tuesday I went to lunch with my mom. So now I'm doing one today. So this will be a lot of fun. On today's program, I'm going to talk about Lytton's department store. They were located in the Chicagoland area. I've talked about them before a few years ago, but I figured, why don't I revisit that again? Why not revisit again? Does that make sense? No, never mind. I figured I will speak about this again. That's fine. Also, I will read a 1963 menu from the Cart restaurant that was located at the Harrison Hotel. It was at 65 East Harrison Street in the Chicago Loop. So this will be a lot of fun. Yeah. I sort of remember this place, and I think a lot of people have. So we will see. Okay, right now we're going to go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Gaines Top Choice Dog Food. I remember this. And it's commercials from 1974. Oh boy, dogs have a lot, not just dogs, cats, they, these days they have a special diet they eat, but back then it was hamburger, whatever dog food was available. Okay, so let's go back to the mid-1970s for Gaines Top Choice Burgers. Is that how I said it right? Gaines Top Choice Dog Food. Excuse me. Okay. Sit back and relax, and I'll be right back with the rest of the show, folks. Thank you.
Mouth-watering, juicy hamburger. People love to sink their teeth into it, and so do dogs. And this, it's something else we think your dog will love. Gaines Top Choice Burger for Dogs. It's made with beef byproducts and real beef, so it's moist and meaty. It even holds together like hamburger, but it's better for your dog because it also has all the vitamins, minerals, and proteins for the 100% nutrition hamburger doesn't have. Top Choice. For dogs who love hamburger, it's better for them.
Alrighty, everyone. I am back, and I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Gaines Top Choice Dog Food. This commercial aired in 1974. Used to watch a lot of dog commercials, still do, back when I was little. There's not much information about this product. It was introduced in the 1960s and lasted until the 1990s. But it didn't come in cans. It came in boxes like that. I don't know. They look fresh back then. I remember Gaines Burgers. Remember that? The dogs ate like burgers, and it had a lot of vitamins and minerals. Get a nice shiny coat like that. I wouldn't know. I never owned a dog. I owned a cat when I was little, so I never owned a dog because when I was 4 or 5, I got bitten by one on the arm, and it was that was traumatic for me. So I get scared of them. Not little ones, but sometimes little ones bark loud and they growl at you. But some are very tame. I went to my cousin's house about a few months ago, and they had a dog. She was very tame, very cute. She sat next to me on the lap, and I just pet her, and then she wouldn't let me leave. She was grabbing me by the leg. So that was sweet. Yeah. You have to, I've always said, face your fears. It's hard, because when I was growing up, I wasn't told or didn't acknowledge it and I was scared. Mostly people out in the public. I was mostly a hermit. So I didn't have many friends, and it was scary because it seems like the world was mad at me, and it's not true. That's how it is. But now I'm much better because of Fan Chicagoland. And I've got a lot of confidence, and people are very kind, very supportive, and it's wonderful. It's very nice. Okay. Right at the beginning of the program, I mentioned I'm going to talk about Lytton's department store that was located in the Chicagoland area. Also, I will read a 1963 menu from the Cart restaurant that was located at the Harrison Hotel in the Loop. Before I get started, I'll give you a couple of updates. My health, so far I'm doing okay. Next chemo is October 13th. Okay. That'll be number 9. The PSA has not gone down. I don't know what's going on. It's stubborn. My doctor told me maybe we'll go for 12 sessions. I was supposed to go 10. We'll see what happens. If not, then he has another treatment as a backup plan. It's Pluvito. They advertise this on TV. It might work. It's not chemo. It's like radiation. So this might work. We'll see. Because my cancer is stubborn. I have lesions. It's just, it won't disappear. It's just like that. I feel fine. Sometimes I'm tired. So we'll see what happens. A few things, it's good. October's going to be a bit busy month for me because, first of all, next Saturday is my birthday. I will not do a podcast episode. No, maybe the day after I'll do one because I want to celebrate the day, with my family. Not going anywhere, just spend a nice quiet time. After that, I will go to New York for vacation on October 8th, on a Wednesday. So I don't know if I'll do a podcast episode before. Maybe. I'm not sure because I got a lot of packing and stuff like that. I know it's just for 3 days for New York, but I have not traveled almost 20 years. Because I was in the travel business for a long time. I used to travel almost every weekend, going to several cities in the United States. I went to a lot of them, and it was fun because, I'm not married and I don't have children. I still don't. And so I got laid off in 2007, and, I'm just trying to be careful. And I did not go anywhere after that. So it's been about a long time, 15 years. Practically, what was it? 18 years. Yeah, 18 years. I have not gone anywhere. So now I have an opportunity. The reason I'm going to travel because I'm tired of going to doctor's appointments. That's all I ever go, mostly. Or I go out to lunch, with my friends or with people. This is nice. But I want to get out of the city. I just want to. So next Wednesday, I'll be leaving for New York. I'll be attending the New York Comic-Con. There's a big convention. I still haven't got my badges. I don't know what's going on. But I called, and they said that you can pick them up the day before, which is it's up to 7 o'clock. I'll make it by then, and go and pick them up. And then when I go Thursday, I'll be attending Thursday and Friday for the convention. I can, scan it and let me in. So because it's going to be a long line, it's huge, and this is my first time. So I'll be coming back Saturday. Sunday I have a wedding to attend, so I could be busy. And the next day I'll go for chemo. So, and then I just found out October 21st I will have surgery. It will take care of my leakage. I've been leaking since 7 months now. It's ridiculous because I had an operation done. It went very well, but it was, it's common among men with prostate cancer, when they're recovering, they have leakage problems. So he's going to perform an operation, which is my urologist, to stop it. This will stop. That means no more diapers, no more leakage, no more, because it's expensive. It's a pain in the butt. So hopefully this will cure it, and this will last for years. Okay. So that'll be fine. So I don't want to do the surgery, but I have to. I don't want to continue this for the rest of my life because it's, like I said, it's ridiculous. It's not worth it. Okay. All righty. So that's it about me. People, why is Pete talking about this? Well, it's my podcast. What's funny? I went the other day, I went to Fry the Coop. That was a restaurant. It's in Oak Lawn. They have several locations now. I think they opened the first one there. I think so. I know the owner. He's messaged me. good. You have Nashville or other types of chicken. I don't like Nashville hot because my stomach can't take it. So I take the mildest ever, which is country, and it was very good, and just a Coke, and it was. And then a person complained, "Why are you talking about? Who gives what you had for lunch?" First of all, this is my profile on Facebook. I can talk whatever I like. I don't need to be dictated. So I just ignore them. People are bored. They like to vent. So I just ignore it. So that's what I've always said. Ignore, block them, delete the comments, just move on, and you'll be okay. All right. All right, let's talk about Lytton's. I'll give you a little history of that. It was the man who founded Lytton's department store. His name was Henry C. Lytton. It was nicknamed The Hub or Lytton's. I don't know where they got the hub. Well, as we go along. He was not from Chicago, I do not believe. He first opened his store in a small town in Michigan. It was called Ionia. Or it's not that small. Maybe it was small back then. And then he opened a couple in Grand Rapids, Indianapolis, and then he provided enough capital to open a store in Chicago. Okay. And the store opened, which was nicknamed The Hub, opened in 1887 on the corner of Jackson and State Street. And it was called the Otis Building at the time. And but then they moved across the street about 1913, and it was like 18 stories high. I don't know what was above that. I don't know if Lytton's took over all the floors. I don't believe so. So he used about the lower 8 floors and the basements. And it did not sell clothes. It sold sporting goods. Then Henry retired in 1917, and his son George took over. And then he took over the head of the company, which was Henry, because his son died in 1933. And then when they had the Century of Progress World's Fair in 1934, remember that? Well, you don't remember it, but by history, they opened a store there. Okay. And by the late 30s, they branched out in other locations, Evanston, Oak Park, in Gary, Indiana. Let me try to remember what other locations were there. There was in Evanston, Oak Park. I don't know where else. Excuse me. Not in the city, elsewhere in the city. It was Evergreen Park. I remember that. I think Oak Brook. Maybe. I don't know. So I have the locations, I should have brought it up, but I'll look for it and I'll tell you. Okay. And it was very successful. And the funny thing is, Henry Lytton was still president until he died in 1949, and he was 102. Ooh, he was up there. Yeah, that's cool like that. And so my memories... Excuse me. This is terrible. Okay. All right. Here we go. So here are the locations. This is from a postcard in 1977. So here we go. Yeah, it was one in Chicago. There was the only one in the city. Okay. There were also in Evanston. There was also an Old Orchard shopping center in Skokie, which I posted a photo the other day. There was one in Gulf Mill. There was one in Hawthorne Mall in Vernon Hills. Also in Woodfield, in Schaumburg, Woodfield Mall. In Oak Park, there was one there. There was one in Fox Valley Mall in Aurora. Also Evergreen Plaza in Evergreen Park. I remember that. There was also in River Oaks. That's in Calumet City. And Park Forest. Probably Park Forest Plaza, where... Marshall Fields was there, I think. I'm not sure. So, I remember when I was little, the clothes were beautiful. I think I bought a couple of ties. I think my mom bought a couple of ties there when I was, growing up. I remember the suits. They had beautiful, and dresses and fur coats and hats. And they had the beautiful hat boxes and the Christmas gift boxes. So they were pretty. Very pretty indeed. And so they didn't have one in Fort City, which I was pretty surprised by that. Okay. Um. So let's see. So it was in business until about 1986. Okay, that's when it was stolen. It was purchased by a man. His name was Thomas Rafferty. He used to he was in charge of venture. Yeah, and so they went out of business in 1986. Weeboats bought the Lytton's name and acquired the remaining inventory. And then, of course, that didn't happen because Weeboats filed for bankruptcy as well. And they went out of business in 1987, a year later. So the building that's there now, if you're in the loop, it's owned by DePaul University. So I don't know what the other floors there, but in there. But one day maybe I'll go downtown and take a look at it and see, what's there. It's part of DePaul, part of DePaul University, and see, oh, it's Lytton's like that. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So I received comments from people they said they used to work there, they used to shop there. They said it was a beautiful store. Top quality merchandise. I can understand that, So I'm glad I talked about Lytton's again. Like I said before, I talked about this store on a previous podcast, but that was years ago. I was getting started and I threw in topics like that. Now I'm more relaxed, sedated, not sedated, but so it's fine. That okay. So that's it for Lytton's. Right now, I'm gonna after I come back from the break, I will talk about and read a menu from the Cart restaurant. It's from 1963, and the restaurant was located at the Harrison Hotel. It was on 65 East Harrison Street in Chicago. Okay, so sit back and relax, everyone. I'll be right back with the rest of the show after this break. Thank you.
All these coffee makers look alike, but look closer at the Sunbeam Coffee Master coffee maker. Sunbeam's unique brewing system heats all the water to the correct temperature before brewing. Sunbeam's stainless steel tank makes its coffee pure and clean tasting. Works with or without paper filters. Get your kind of coffee. Get a Sunbeam Coffee Master coffee maker.
Alrighty, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed that break. That commercial, that is. Right now I'm going to talk about the Cart restaurant. That was located at 65 East Harrison Street. It was located at the Harrison Hotel. This menu is from 1963. When I was growing up, I sort of remember seeing this place or I think my father talked about it. You see, when he was alive, he worked at the Conrad Hilton Hotel. And that's located at Balboa in Michigan. It's the Hilton. It's still there. It's a beautiful hotel. He loved working there. Loved it. He was first a busboy, then he became a waiter, and he worked at room service. And he loved that job. He loved that job. He had a passion. Right now, if you get a job, that's great. But back then jobs were plentiful, and so he worked there for about over 30 years, until he retired. And the thing, when I was growing up, I hardly saw him because he worked nights. Because the reason he did that, he made more money, and with tips and all that, and that was great like that. And he worked on the weekends. So his days off were Wednesday and Thursday, and I would see him, when I came home from school and all that. And then when he retired, I saw too much of him. It's all right. So the other reason he did that, he supported us to put a roof over our heads, for my mom and me and my brothers, so we can get a good education. I had a hard time growing up school-wise because I was bullied and I didn't pay attention, and it was very distracting. He didn't understand that, so he always told me, just forget it. It was hard to forget. It was very hard. But he put me through school, so that I'm very appreciative for that. And my brothers as well. So he was very happy. He died in 2006 in January, so it'll be 20 years next January. I still miss him. So, but he told me about the Cart restaurant. He just mentioned in passing about that because the Hilton had other restaurants, which someday I will talk about the restaurants that were there at the time, because they were before that was called the Stevens Hotel. Then they changed the name. Then Hilton bought the hotel. Okay. So the Cart restaurant, I don't know when it opened. I have no idea, but the hotel was built in 1928. And like I said, it was designed by an architect. His name was Alfred A. Altschuler. And it was also advertised as the city's first attached hotel garage. So you could park there. Some hotels are like that in the city, maybe. Others, you go to a parking garage, separately. Not this one. So that was a good, convenient spot. It was right near Grant Park, Millennium Park. It wasn't Millennium Park back then. Columbia College was nearby. Okay. Excuse me. So, as I said before, I don't know when the Cart opened. It's maybe in the 50s or 60s or something like that. I don't know if there was another restaurant before that. No clue. And then it closed about maybe the 70s or something like that. No idea. But when I used to post something for the Cart Hotel, and people remembered it very well. And so let's see. So I posted a postcard yesterday to announce that I would do that. According to the postcard, it said the best in palate pampering, superb farm fresh chicken, succulent seafood, barbecue back ribs, luncheons, dinners, suppers, impeccably served in an elegant atmosphere. And your host was Ben Orlett. Now, I don't know if he was the owner or he was just a host. I don't know. But according to the postcard, so it had a nice bar, and looked very fancy, back then. They had stained glass windows like that. So that was funny. Okay, so I found the menu from 1963. First, I will read the cocktails. I will read the prices. I promise that. I will do that. And also the entrees. Okay, so here we go. So there wasn't many. So according to the menu, the cocktails was like martini 85 cents, imported gin $1, Manhattan was 85 cents, Canadian or bonded $1, Rob Roy $1 with aged Scotch, $1.15, Tom Collins 85 cents, imported gin $1, whiskeys, gin, rums or scotches 85 cents, aged Scotch, imported gin and brandy $1, old fashioned 85 cents, Canadian or bonded $1. You get the idea. Whiskey sour 85 cents and the same thing. Okay. So it was served from the cart. That's where they got the name. So they probably brought a cart to your table. That's what I assume, like that. And then they had they all had their entrees, inside like drawers like that. So that's, or the chef would come. Either the waiters would bring it in, or maybe the chef, he would carve something for you in front of you. Yeah, probably. So they had roast prime ribs of beef. Excuse me. And you could request any way you wanted, rare, medium, or well. Do that. Okay. So this is the cart salad. says here, it was chilled, crisp, fresh greens tossed with our own special creamed anchovy garlic dressing. Or if you want French or Thousand Island, or clear garlic if you prefer, or cream coleslaw or sliced tomatoes, and the dressing was served with Roquefort dressing. That's 50 cents extra. It doesn't say the price. I don't know why. I'm not sure. They had special baked potatoes, scooped from the jacket, blended with butter, eggs, cream, and chives, returned to the jacket, sprinkled with cheese and fired to a golden brown, or French fried or Idaho baked potato. That sounds good. That really does. Yeah. There's an item called 475. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means with the title, but it says here for the calorie conscious junior cut 375. So that's probably the prime rib. For a hearty eater, Adam's rib, extra thick cut, 595. So the junior cut was 375 and this was 595. So you get a big portion of that. Okay. And then it was Kentucky limestone lettuce, and it says here with sliced hard-boiled eggs and tomato tossed with our own special cream anchovy garlic dressing. Like I said before, other dressings were French, Thousand Island, or clear garlic if you prefer, and that's like 75 cents extra. But it doesn't say the price. Okay, so now we're going to go into the appetizers, seafood, and from the broiler. Oh, this will be fun. Okay, here we go. Appetizers, they had tomato juice, a large glass, 50 cents. California fruit cocktail, 75 cents. Marinated herring and sour cream with onion rings, 85 cents. Half a grapefruit, 50 cents. Fresh chopped chicken livers, 85 cents. Jumbo shrimp cocktail, $1.25. Shrimps, I can't pronounce this. It's Jonghe. I got to find this out. It's my fault. And that costs about $1.50. Soups, they had French onion soup or soup du jour. Cup is 35. Tureen is 50. It's probably a bowl like that. Oh, that sounds good. Seafood. French fried shrimp served with cocktail sauce, $3.25. Shrimp, the Jonghe, $3.25, same price. Rocky Mountain Rainbow Trout Amandine, $3.50 from the icy spring-fed waters. Oh, fancy. Imported English Dove Sole Amandine, $3.95. Okay. The trout is $3.50. If I didn't mention that, I apologize. Twin succulent lobster tails, $4.50, served with hot butter sauce. Imported French turbot, Amandine or broiled, $3.95, and broiled fresh Lake Superior whitefish, $3.50. I like whitefish. It's not bad. Not a big fish person, but that sounds good. Now, from our broiler, excuse me. These are steaks. If you want them charcoaled or, I don't know, cooked differently, that's up upon request, if you want that. Or barbecue or broiled chicken, $3.25, fresh from the farm. That's what it says. Barbecue ribs, carefully selected baby back ribs, $3.25. Prime chopped steak, that is 2 half-pound patties, freshly ground from our own aged prime ribs or prime ribs of beef, or 4 small patties with green peppers, onions on request. Okay, that's $3.25. Aged prime filet mignon, $5.75. Junior aged prime filet mignon, that's probably smaller. For the calorie conscious, that's $3.95. So it's cheaper when you get it small. Aged prime sirloin steak, New York cut, $6.25, over a pound, well trimmed. Junior aged prime sirloin steak, New York cut, $5.25 for the calorie conscious. Also prime calf's liver sauteed with bacon or smothered onions, $3.50, with petite imparted carrots. And it's served with the carte salad or the cream coleslaw and special baked French fried or Idaho potatoes. They also had vegetables. They had cream spinach or petite imported carrots, 35 cents. Okay. Desserts. They had Camembert, Roquefort, or Lindenkrantz cheese, 50 cents with toasted crackers. That sounds good. French ice cream, sherbet or sundae, 50 cents. Fresh fruit, season 50. Pastry selected from the pastry tray, 50 cents. And beverages, they had pot of tea or a glass of milk, 35 cents, iced tea or iced coffee, 35, or a pot of coffee or Senko, 35 cents. And they also had a room, it was called the Cypress Room, and it was available for private parties. So if you want to book a private party, you had it at the Cypress Room. Okay, that's it. That was fun. Sounds very nice. Sounds delicious. Okay, so that's it for the cart. Yeah, that's nice. That's it for the show. One last thing before I close out the show. People still request me, can you read a menu from this restaurant and that? Sometimes they're hard to find. I do have some in my computer, on file, but I keep searching. So sometimes I would find Italian or a lot from the city or in the suburbs like that. I will do that. Okay, I will try. Okay, so that's it for this show. I'll do a recap of what I talked about. I talked about the Lytton's department store that was located on the corner of Jackson Boulevard and South State Street in the Chicago Loop. Also, the Cart Restaurant. I read a menu from 1963 that was located at the Harrison Hotel at 65 East Harrison, which I failed to mention. Right now, they tore it down, I believe, in the 70s, and now it's a Travel Lodge hotel. Okay, it's a chain. So it's probably nicer. Maybe. I don't know. If you're planning to stay there, let me know how it is. Okay. So this podcast will be published later on today, wherever podcasts are available. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Breaker, Overcast, also iHeartRadio, Good Pods. What's the other one? Podbean. Those apps are on your phone or your tablet. You can tap on them and tap follow. You receive a notification of the latest episode. You can listen to previous episodes if you like. Also, it will be on my blog, www.vanishchicagoan.blog. They're all listed with the links. You can click on that. You probably receive a notification if you subscribe, or if you type in your email, you will get that. Also, it'll be on my YouTube channel, and again and again and again, people always ask me, "Where do I find your podcast? I want to listen to your podcast." What's the easiest way to listen to your podcast? Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. Type in the search engine Spanish Chicagoan Stories or my name, Pete Castanes. You will find it. Click subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. You will receive a notification of the latest episode. They're all there. I'll give you a little head of warning. Sometimes it switches from public to private. It drives me crazy. So I have to keep checking every day to do that, because I received messages from people, I can't listen to this, and because it's not me, it's YouTube. It's goofy. I don't understand. They got to fix that. I was going to send an email to them or tell them, why are you doing that? I don't know. Anyway, so if you subscribe to the podcast, you can listen to previous episodes. You receive a notification. So you can listen to your tablet, on your iPad, or in your desktop. You can listen to it on your TV if you stream, if you have the YouTube, or Spotify. You can do that. Or listen in your car if you have CarPlay. Do that as well. Also, be sure to my social media accounts: Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Reddit, Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky, and TikTok. I had breakfast with my classmates yesterday morning, and they mentioned you're on TikTok. Yeah, I've been on TikTok for a while, but it's growing. So I think I got to repost stuff, post frequently to get an audience. So it'll take time like that. I have 85,000 followers on Facebook, and I have over 240,000 members. My group, and it's still growing. So hopefully TikTok will grow and grow and grow. Maybe someday. I know it will. Someday it will. I don't know. So I will try my best. Okay. All right. So that's it for this show. I will probably do another podcast Tuesday, I believe. I think so. Yeah, I think so. We'll see about that. Okay, but not next Saturday because that's my birthday. So no, Sunday perhaps. The next Sunday I will. Okay, all right. So this is Pika Stanish, your host for Vanishing Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Thank you for joining me. Today's going to be a beautiful day. The Bears are playing today. Everyone calm down. just enjoy the game. Okay. Just relax. Oh, boy. It makes me laugh when I see stuff like that. I'm sorry. Okay. So here's bye-bye from me, and here's a little traveling music from our famous Chicago legend and good guy, Ray Rayner, saying bye-bye-bye. Take care, everyone, and have a good day. Thank you. Bye.
We have to go. Bye-bye-bye.